Sponsored by EA. Hey everyone, it's AlluringSimmer here, back with another speed build, and in today's speed build, we are working on Flora's bedroom for our Let's Move in the Winx series. This is actually a re-upload technically, but I realized there was a lot of issues going on with the audio, so I'm redoing the voiceover so that way you can hear it and have a good experience while doing so. Before we really get into the build, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's been watching my past videos, especially for this series and just the other videos I've been putting out in general. One of my goals this year is definitely to be a part of the YouTube partner program, and in order to do so, I need to get a certain amount of watch hours. So any support watching the videos all the way through, liking, commenting, and just engaging with the content is greatly appreciated. If you haven't already seen the previous videos for this series, I highly recommend checking them out. I'll have them linked in the description as well as linked on the screen. And lastly, before we get into the build, I'm part of the EA Creator Program if you didn't already know, and I'm also an EA affiliate, which means that you can use my code AlluringSimmer when purchasing Sims 4 DLC in the EA app. You can also use my code for other eligible titles, and if you would like to know which titles you can use my code for, then consider to visit my website at AlluringSimmer.com/creator. And again, my code is AlluringSimmer. So consider to use my code at checkout when making purchases on the EA app. Alright, now let's get into the build itself. If you didn't already see the creative sim for Flora, then just a brief overview of who this Winx fairy is. She is the fairy of nature, so you'll notice there's a lot of plants in this build. One thing that I did want to mention is that I'm super excited about this new pack, mainly because I think Flora is going to be the perfect sim to play it out with. And if you didn't already know, I'm going to be making a Let's Play series with all of the Winx fairies once the new pack Enchanted by Nature comes out. If you have any ideas or suggestions of things you would like me to do once we get the new pack, or things you'd like to see happen with this Let's Play, maybe ideas for like a little challenge, maybe ideas for like the storyline, then consider to leave them in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. I honestly think that one of my favorite parts of doing this build was the fact that I did it while on stream. And if you didn't already know, I usually go live on both Twitch and YouTube throughout the week, usually in the morning around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on the weekend, usually on Saturday, it'll be like 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anywhere between 4 to 7 p.m. is when I start. I would highly recommend joining the streams because I would love to get more engaged with the YouTube community. I feel like with my Twitch community, since that's where I stream most consistently, I get to talk with people all the time, and I also have a Discord server, which is linked in the description if you would like to join. But I really would love to have more of an experience interacting with those who only may watch my YouTube videos. So please don't be shy. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of the videos. Consider to tune into the lives and chat with me. I'm really looking forward to like meeting more people that are part of just the YouTube community, and also join the Discord server if you want to find another way to interact with me and the community when I'm not on YouTube and I'm not live. Getting back into Flora's room, I feel like this was my favorite bedroom to do so far, and I have a feeling with each new room that we create for this series until we get to the end, I'm gonna keep thinking that about the room. But that's mainly because I feel like with each new room I also get a little bit better with the builds, like determining what items to use and also figuring out the color palette. Another thing that's gotten better the more that I've been building is the fact that I feel like it's easier to do some of the Winx fairies. Like for example, Flora has a very clear color palette, and that's like her favorite colors as well as the colors she wears, and it's also the colors of her bedroom. Well, I feel like some of the other fairies, like the colors of the room didn't really match like their personal style, so it was a little bit harder to like mix and match those colors and make them work together. I feel like with this room, there's a lot of pink, blue, purple, green. I would say like pastels, and then also like earthy colors. And then obviously I already said there's so many plants in this build, and I think it turned out really cute. I feel like it makes it feel really lived in and also like very like cozy, as opposed to like maybe Techna's room where I feel like there's a lot of just like technological stuff, a lot of technology going on, and it's not as like cozy, comfy. It's more like science lab vibes. My plan once all of the rooms are done and once a new pack is out is I'm gonna go back in and renovate a lot of these rooms. I do think like the overall essence of the rooms will pretty much stay the same, but I definitely want to like add some stuff from the new pack and also rearrange things and also, make little changes to things that I may have noticed after finishing the build. As you guys are watching these builds that I've been doing for this series, I'd love to hear in the comments what packs you think would be most useful for doing some of these builds. Because for example, with this one, I was really trying to use Realm of Magic later on, and then I realized there's not that many items that I think are like great for a bedroom build. However, I also realized that I missed the mark because I didn't go into live edit or debug. And I know there's like these little potions and wands and like magical things that I could have definitely used from that pack. I feel like with this room, there was not as much like, back and forth as I had with some of the other rooms that I did. I feel like once something was placed down, except for like a few items like this painting right here, it usually stayed or moved to some other area of the room. However, I felt like with some of the other builds, there was a lot of like putting an item in and taking it out because I realized that it just didn't fit or I didn't like it. Well, I think this room was a little bit more seamless with completing it because I feel like it was just easy to find things that went together and made sense for her bedroom. I still can't believe that we only have like 3 fairies left to make. I think it's only 3, and that means that's only 3 more weeks of the Winx fairy builds. I'm also just now realizing that the final build that we'll do will literally come out the day before the pack releases. And at that point, I feel like I now am able to share. I will have early access to the pack. So I will be able to play a little bit earlier and I'll be able to share all the things that we learn about the new pack before everyone else also gets their hands on it. So just know that on July 7th or maybe July 8th, that will be the first day that I'll be playing with the new Enchanted by Nature expansion pack. And I'm so excited to have it a couple days early and be able to test out all of the features and check out the gameplay. And I would love to know if you guys have any ideas of specific things you'd like to see when I start making, the content during the early access period, then let me know in the comments down below. Again, I really want to make sure that I'm incorporating ideas that you all have that you want to see on my channel in terms of the content I create. So please don't be shy to suggest things. I also have a suggestions channel in my Discord server where you can post any ideas you have for like videos or things you'd like to see. You can also just let me know like what type of videos you'd like to see. So if you prefer speed builds, if you prefer creative sim, if you prefer let's plays, then please let me know because again, I want to make content that you all want to see and want to watch. I think for Flora's bedroom, this little wardrobe area that I had in the corner was probably my favorite part. I very rarely use those like divider screen things, but she actually had one in the room from the show, and I was like, we have one that's literally perfect. It's not the same color wise, and I feel like the pattern is a little bit different, but it still matches the color scheme of the room, and I think it looks really cute. And then the other part of the room that I thought was really fun to do was she had a desk that was like kind of diagonal near the middle of the room, and I did that here as well. I feel like I've never used that swatch of that desk before, and I've also never used a Wedding Stories chair as a desk chair. But I think because she's the fairy of nature and that chair had like the actual real plants like on the back of it, I thought it looked really cute and it also matched color wise. So I ended up using that instead of like a traditional desk chair. It was really fun creating her room because I would feel like it was fun to try and incorporate plants into like every little detail and flowers throughout the room. And I hope that you like how it turned out. And now that we're getting closer to the end of the builds, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy the video, consider to like the video by clicking the little thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Comment down below and answer some of the questions I asked throughout the video. I want to hear your thoughts, so please share if you have something to say. I want to hear it. And be sure to stay tuned until the end so that way you can see screenshots of the final build. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.